Okay, guys, this is Christy Phillips here, your Registry Committee Chair, and I am going to attempt to show you a tutorial on how to create an account with UC Davis and then submit their paperwork for sending in your DNA samples where the hairs you have pulled from your goat. This is what you need to do before you actually mail those hairs in. So we're going to start. You're going to go to their homepage. That address is vgl.ucdavis.edu. You probably can't see that on this screen, but I will try to add it maybe in the comments or on the video later. But you're going to go to that address. It brings you to their homepage, and you're going to look in the upper right-hand corner, and you're going to click on Create Account. Now, I already have an account created, so I can't follow you all the way through this page, but you'll fill in your name, email. Your email is going to be your account username, so make a note of that. So you just need to remember your email and whatever password you create. You have to add a phone. How did you hear about VGL? You can just check the box that said there was an awesome person on Facebook that told me. Then country, city, state, zip, and then whether or not they can send you emails and display your address on the reports. So when you get to the bottom of that, you're going to click continue. And again, I can't go through this part with you because I already have an account, but on the following page, you'll, I'm sure, create your password at that point. So now I'm going to take you back to their homepage where we click to create account, but now we're going to click My VGL Login. This will be the page you're going to want to bookmark after you've created an account. This will be where you go every time you need to send in DNA samples. So it's already got my login information ready for me. So I'm going to click Login. And I'm going to try to go through this plenty slow, but if I don't, you just message me and I can help you with anything you didn't understand. Okay, so from this page, we're going to be looking, you can read through all of this, when you're on the actual site, but we're going to click Order Test, and then you're not click it, you're going to hover on it. And then you're going to go down and click Goat. Okay, so this page, for some reason, it loads in on my computer, kind of already scrolled down, but scroll up to the top to where you can see you're on the GOAT test form. And yours probably will not have this registry affiliation box checked yet, so it will look like this. And you want to be sure and check registry affiliation and choose San Clemente Island Goat Breeders Association, because that is how you get your discount. So it will only cost you $38, I think, instead of $44 or something. So choose your registry affiliation, and then you're going to scroll down and you're going to enter the information for the goat that you're testing. Again, I don't have a goat to send in a fresh sample for. I've already sent all of mine in, but I'm going to go ahead and type in the information for my buck that I've already mailed in. So when you're entering the animal's name, it needs to include herd name and the animal name. So like mine is Quarter Mountain. Male number 4 is his full name. So Quarter Mountain is the herd name. Male number 4 is the goat name. And then I'm going to skip down to his registration. It's giving me a warning that he has already been tested. So I'm just going to cancel that, and we're going to continue with our little pretend scenario here. So his registration is SCIG dash 02249. His sex is male. His date of birth is July the 10th of 2022. His breed, clicking this makes a drop down menu, and you're going to scroll until you see San Clemente Island. On the color, you're going to enter just like you would for our standard color chart. So he was dark tan SCI. He is not microchipped. He did have an ear tag, and that number is KY12305-0009. Okay, and at this point you can add a picture of your animal if you want to. I often do. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask somebody smarter than me what that gets you, but I think it's cool. So I always browse my computer and add a picture if I can. Okay, so we have our goat information entered. You're going to scroll down. The first thing that comes up here, and I'm not sure why this is first, but if you're sending in a post-mortem sample from a deceased goat, it can be teeth or bones, and it's a $250 additional charge. So I would strongly advise you get your DNA before they die. So don't mark that box. So you're going to come down to this next option, though, the genetic markers report without parentage. And note that none of these are a breed test. They do not tell you whether it is an SCI goat. It's just going to record their DNA for future, hopefully, parent verification purposes. But so for now, if you're sending in DNA just to meet the requirements to have your buck's DNA on file, you're going to choose this genetic markers report option. Okay. Right now, we're not going to look at any of these tests. I am, again, not your girl for any of these, so skip that. Oh, let me go back. When we clicked this box, it added the $38 fee. That is the discounted price through SCI GBA. Okay, so now this parent information, this is not for parentage testing. This is just if you wanted to enter the parent's name of the names of the goat that you're registering just for record purposes, as best as you know them, assuming they are correct, you can enter those at this point and it'll show up on your animal's paperwork later. So I'm not going to take time to type all of that in. But again, this is not related to parentage testing. It is only for informational purposes on your paperwork. Okay, scrolling down shows your owner information, and you're almost to the end of the form. You're going to check these lovely little boxes. You can read all the details. It's saying that it's currently taking at least 24 business days from the date the sample is received. I've seen it take much, much longer, so that's good. Okay, so at this point, you would click Save, and it will take you to a new screen that I can't go to, I don't think, because I'm not really sending this animal in for testing. But it will take you to a new screen, and it will ask for your payment information. You can either pay online, or you can mail a check in with your samples. So you will go through that choice of payment options, and then they're going to email you a confirmation and a link to the forms that you're going to actually need to mail in with your samples, and I will show you those in just a minute. But I want to scroll back up while we're here, and I want to look at the parent verification. So I'm going to talk you through that in case you need to do parent verification at some time. You will have seen that. So instead of choosing genetic markers report, you're going to check the box that says parent verification. Okay, what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to test and see who your sire and dam are to a particular animal. Okay, in order to do that, either UC Davis already has to have hair samples on file for all the possible sires and dam or possible dams, if you're even confused about that. But they need to either already have samples on file, or you need to submit new hair samples to them so they can test all the possible combinations, because if you don't know who your goat daddy is and you've got, $3 it could be, don't just send the one you think it is, because that slows things down and it's a lot less likely that you're going to get a correct answer So send in all possible sires, and if you know for sure which dam it is, go ahead and send in the dam as well, because it ups the likelihood that they're going to get an accurate uh, estimate on who, not an estimate, they're going to get an accurate result on who the sire is. Particularly, I've been told if the sire and dam are closely related, then it increases the validity of the test to have all the possible parents of the goat. So you're going to check the parent verification box, and you see it opens up these two options for verify sire and verify dam. So if we choose the verify sire option, it opens up this new section. Okay, if there is already hair samples sent in and DNA on file for the sire, you can either search your account if you're the one that has sent it in, or you can enter the animal's name and registration number and their VGL, their DNA case number. The search my account doesn't often work for me. I do a lot of pig DNA, and even when I've got the pigs in my account, that doesn't work. So I enter the name if they're already in UC Davis's system. If they are not, and you're going to be sending in new hair samples, then you're going to click Add New Sire. And so you'll type in the animal's name, color, breed, registration number, date of birth, and then you're going to click Save New Sire. And then right below that, you'll click the Verify Dam to this animal option. And again, if it's already in their system, you would enter the name. It looks like that. If you click Enter Name, it gives you the option to pull up one that's already in their system, or instead, you can click Add New Dam, and it's this section. So you would just ignore this. If you've clicked it and you're like, oh wait, that's not in their system, just ignore that and enter the new dam information here. You'll click Save New Dam. Now I want to point out that the price for parent verification is still $38. That does not change whether you're doing just the genetic markers or the parent verification. But if you're having to send in hair samples for each sire and each dam that you're going to be testing for, you will have to pay a separate $38 DNA testing fee for each hair sample you send in. Okay, so hopefully you followed that. So assuming that you went and you just checked genetic markers and you have clicked save and you've gone through the next pages to get your payment, I'm going to show you now what the forms look like that you get in an email. I think you actually have access to them also from your VGL account. I'll look at that in a minute. But they email you these forms, and so for each goat you're sending in samples for, I sent in 3 at once, and I did parentage testing on 1. So this is the first form that they send in. It gives you, that they sent me, it gives you directions roughly on how to pull the hair samples. It says you put them in a paper envelope and label it really well with the goat's name, and I like to put their registration number and their tag or tattoo or microchip number on it. Anything you can get to be sure that's identified well. Do not touch the root bulbs. You got to be sure there's a root bulb attached on the hair, on the end of the hair sample, and do not touch it. So put it in the envelope, seal it up. And okay, so this was Nutmeg's form. And so at the bottom of the form, you attach your sample envelope right here. You can either staple it or you can tape it or whatever. But so you would put one envelope on that form, and then here's another identical form. This was for Cinnamon. So her sample was attached here. I had to print all of these forms, obviously. Her sample, and then this was my Buck, and his sample was attached here. And then also included, I had paid online, so this was confirmation of my online payment, so they knew that had already been taken care of. If you had not paid online, there would be a probably an invoice. I forget what it looks like, but you would include a check with your statement of how much is due. And then the last page is for you to keep. It says at the bottom, this is keep this record. Keep this as a record of the samples submitted. So this is yours to keep. And of course, I save all these files on my computer. But so you will package all of this up with the hair samples attached and your payment statement included, and you will mail it to their postal address, or they have a FedEx address. But you're going to mail all that in to the veterinary genetics lab. When they receive your tests, you're going to get an email for each sample you sent in. You're going to get an email that says your sample has been received. And that's when the clock is going to start. If they said 24 business days from the time they receive it, here's your notification. And you should get one separate notification for each sample. So you'll get that. And then let's say those 24 days go by, and they're going to email you your results, and I believe SCI-GBA will get a copy as well because you chose us as your affiliation. So we will have that record and you will have it. Once you've sent in your tests and they've returned your results, so they're going to send you forms that look like this. So this is on my Buck Quarter Mountain Male number 4. And it gives you all of this, I'm sure, fascinating information that I have no clue what any of this means, and I'm not even going to pretend to. But by having this form, this means that I can now register kids from Quarter Mountain Male number 4, and right now that's my priority. And then Cinnamon's also looked the same. So hers is also just genetic marker test reports. Now, Nutmeg, I needed to do parentage verification on her. She was Cinnamon's doeling, and another breeder had already sent in DNA on her prospective sire, Shrunken Farm Woody Jr. And you'll notice right here under results and interpretation, it says Bremerton Nutmeg qualifies as an offspring of Moonlit Cinnamon and Shrunken Farm Woody Jr. So yay! Woody Jr. was the parent of Moonlit Cinnamon. So this is what it also has her genetic markers. So in the future, we could test her, for parentage verification with another animal to see. But generally, this is what your results are going to look like when you're doing parentage verification. So guys, I hope this helped. And if anything is still confusing, or if you want me to walk you through it, or if there's parts where I couldn't follow with you because I've already got an account and I've already sent in all my goats, just holler at me, call me, email me, whatever, and I will do my very best to make it as clear as possible. So I hope it helped. Y'all have a great day.